welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my October TBR. So October has finally come. I'm so excited, and I'm mainly excited because I get to do scary, spooky stories this month. I can do it obviously every other month, but something about October, I just really gravitate toward the mysteries and the classics a little bit more. So I thought actually I would film this video because I also kind of wanted to have like a little read along with you guys, because a lot of these are going to be things that I've read before, and I thought that it'd be fun for all of us to read together. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into what I am going to be reading. The first book is one of my favorite books of all time, and if you have not read it, please take the time to do so this month. It is what got me into like mystery and horror, and it's just amazing. So the first book is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, and Agatha Christie is just game over for mystery. And this is actually the first Agatha Christie book that I've ever read, and I actually got into it because of school. This was a required reading in school, and so I went ahead and I was kind of interested. I was really into dark, creepy things, and this was right up my alley. I actually just ended up finishing it for fun. We actually annotated it and all that, but I don't have that copy anymore, and I actually haven't read this book since 7th grade. So I'm excited to go back into this, see what I see now that I'm 25 and not like 12. Maybe like 13, I don't know how old you are. But I'm excited to go back into this. This is, I know kind of who does it. I kind of know the ending, but it's just a brilliant book, and I'm thinking about annotating it again. So that's something to think about. But yes, this is going to be my first book that I'm reading this month. Okay, and the second book I'm going to be reading this month is another Agatha Christie book. I just feel like October and her go together really well, and I don't like Stephen King horror, so I typically go with mysteries and like Sherlock Holmes and kind of fall dark books, if that makes sense. Like I would do a nice fantasy with monsters or whatever, but also Agatha Christie because it's mystery. And the next book I'm going to be reading is Black Coffee by Agatha Christie. And I have not read this book. I've read a few of her books, and this has been on my list for about 3 years now. So I decided what better time to read it than October. It says Sugar, Cream, or Murder. So basically, I think somebody poisons this dude, and they have to find out who did it. A classic, mystery. So I'm going to be reading this one as well. The third book I'm going to be reading, and it might be the last book, I don't know. I'm going to see how many books I can fit into this month, because I don't exactly know how quickly I'm going to be able to read everything. But the next book is actually one I haven't read, and I've heard good things about. I'm interested, but it is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and I have never read this book before. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't really ever been interested in Frankenstein, and then somebody I was talking to recommended it to me and just explained it in a way, I don't know, she's so down to earth and she's like a normal person. Not that YouTubers aren't, but basically anyway. And so she basically sold this book to me, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's in the cloth-bound edition by Penguin, and I'm excited to read it. I'm also excited to give you a review on the cloth-bound edition, but I'm excited to have another classics under my belt, and I'll let you guys know how this goes. The last full-length novel I want to read is going to be the third book in the Brandon Sanderson series of Mistborn, The Well of... No, it's not The Well of Ascension, it's The Hero of Ages. And so I'm going to go ahead and read that. I'm actually currently just started it. I'm about 50 pages in, so that's going to be my non-horror book this month. It's going to be my fantasy one, and I'm super excited to see what has been going on with Ben and Eland and all the other characters. And that's going to be I'm kind of sad because it's the last book in the series, but I'm very excited to get this book read because I've enjoyed the last 2 books so much. So the next 2 are 2 short stories, and I'm going to be reading Edgar Allan Poe because I adore Edgar Allan Poe. I read Edgar Allan Poe in the same time I read Agatha Christie, so in like 7th grade, and I just love his stuff. I find him so interesting. I have read like fiction on him. I have read stories inspired by him. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Why not do it in the month of October? So these are the short stories I'm going to be reading from him. So the first one I'm going to be reading, and this is actually one I have read before, but I want to revisit because I just love this story so much. It's The Telltale Heart. And it's spooky and it's creepy and I love it. So that's going to be the first one I read. And then the next one I'm going to be reading is one I haven't read before, and it's called The Murders in the Rue Morgue. So I think I have it highlighted here. I think I actually, there's a book series, there's a YA book series based off of Edgar Allan Poe in a way. And I think this work was mentioned, and I just really liked it. It played a really big part in that book. So I want to go ahead and read that as well. And that's all for Edgar Allan Poe because I have one more author I want to get through, and I'm getting a little bit of anxiety because I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish all these, but I'm willing to try. So the last short story that I am going to be finishing is going to be from H.P. Lovecraft. I have never read anything from him, so I'm very excited, and I actually have all of his work. Again, this was actually recommended to me by the same person who recommended Dracula to me, so it's going to be The Dreams in the Witch House. So I know vaguely what that is, but I'm excited to see what it's about. But yes, that is all I'm going to be reading in October. I hope that you decide to read some of these with me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Please hit that subscribe button and like this video if you would like to see more of this content, and I'll see you guys in my next one.